drop to really smash the windscreen on the top of the car.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we are at David Appleby Engineering. David Appleby himself, thank you for having us.
Good morning. No, pleasure
It's
to have you
actually
here.
Valentine's Day, so
Yeah,
we
that's
didn't
it.
bring any roses.
You
for
never
David.
sent me a card.
No, I didn't. We just bombarded you on a Saturday morning. But I'm really, really excited to be here because I know, obviously, I know what you do. I know the TRs are that's your latest project, really.
It is
isn't
my passion. The first cars I ever rallied. That's the passion how it started.
You
really.
rallied yourself?
Yes,
So-
I did. Yeah. So the TRs were the first rally cars I ever had.
Right.
And then owning the last factory TR8,
Yeah.
JO 931W. That was where it all started for me.
Okay.
So it all went downhill from there on, really.
So, like, we'll touch on your background as we go in and out. But So you started. Do you start off as a rally mechanic or general?
No. Instrument maker is my profession. Military aircraft.
Ah, right. Okay.
Rolls-Royce Bristol. So
that makes sense with
yes, this
form.
OCD.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, that's my background. I've always been involved in engineering.
Right. Okay. So, and rallying was more of a hobby.
It was. Yeah, we had a motor club in the
Yeah.
Rolls-Royce. We had a motor
yeah.
club, so I used to go along because I was young, used to be keen in cars like we all would be at a young age. And it sort of, like I say, grew from there really, doing road rallies and different bits and pieces.
So where did so then you became really influential in British Leyland?
Yeah, with 85 went off and joined the team.
Yeah.
Working with Tony Pond, Malcolm Wilson, of course we were our drivers at the time with the 6R4.
Okay, so 6R4 first?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So privately TRs.
Yeah.
And Rover SD1s, Group A,
Yeah.
rallying those. And then, of course, when the Group B project came along with Rover, they were looking for staff and people to join the team. So we joined the team and done the World Championship 85, 86 until it was all banned.
Until it was banned, yeah.
And then, of course, we were left as just getting married, Erica and I, and we thought, God, what do we do? So we stayed working on the 6R4s and ended up doing all over the world. New Zealand, Canada.
So just running private customers?
Yeah, just private customers. Maintaining the cars, looking after them on event servicing. 3 customers in the Canary Islands, so virtually every month we'd be going out every month to.
All right. And that was your own business?
That was our own business, yeah. David Appleby Motorsport, as it was.
So
which has morphed into engineering now.
Is that where the DAM 4100 came from?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we were working.
We'll talk more about that as when we go and see the 6R4s.
But it was, that's it. To do our own chassis. We knew the shortcomings of the original 6R4, and maybe if the project carried on a bit, we would have created a longer wheelbase car.
So it wasn't long. You did stretch the wheelbase.
We did, yeah. We done them, stretched them by 100 mil, 4 inches.
But you think you could have done with more on that?
No, that would have been good. It would have brought us into the sort of 100-inch sort of philosophy, which seemed to be the holy grail of car width and length sort of thing.
Okay.
And,
to make it work the best.
Yeah, which make it better. Yeah, because it's great. The shorter wheelbase metal is great for sort of tight, twisty stuff because you could really get the car to move around a bit. But then stability on the faster corners was.
The high speed.
Was a bit. You're sort of
a bit sketchy.
Yeah, it was a bit. Biting on your tongue a bit. As a driver, whatever. But
so the first thing we're going to look at, we've got 2 TRs here. This one is a rally-proven one.
This is the one that's 100% finishing records, done, and winning of the FIA Championship 24 British Championship.
Yeah.
It's great. Mark's driven this, and Chris drove it first on the first RAC.
Chris Ingram had it first.
Yes, that's it, Chris.
Yeah. And, so that was brand new when Chris had it?
Yes, brand new car. Yeah. It was built then, so it done all the testing, all the rallies and everything. And after the RAC in November 25, we decided she needs a bit of TLC now because she's done a lot of work.
So this is the first time it's been stripped since you built it?
Yes, fully stripped, yeah.
So now that's, like we were saying, we're pointing out some of the bits that you're going to rectify.
We've seen stress relievers. So
how many rallies did you say it's done?
Oh God,
roughly?
I'm going to say 12 to 14 rallies.
So for me...
Plus test in mine, and we've been to Sweetland on numerous times.
Yeah. And
at the other test venue.
Phil Price?
Phil Price.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you. So
I worked there. So
did you? Yeah. It was that bad, was it? Sort of then come out of you. But so Phil Price's and the other venues doing all testing different bits and pieces, and it stood up to it really well.
It has, because I've seen a lot of cars that have been, a lot of rally cars, because I've worked on lots of rally cars, and after that many rallies, they look a lot worse than this. So this has survived.
It has survived, and it's off to the dippers on Monday, so we totally dipped again back to a bare shell. and then we'll look and see and
see where there's any
give her the
stress.
TLC where she needs it.
The thing is with a rally car, like I know here, like we were talking
Yeah.
about Mark's foot
Yeah.
has been pushing the bulkhead out on the
Yes.
clutch
Yes.
cylinder there.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of stress there, but that's more
bellows
paint
in-
crack.
and a
that,
bit
isn't it?
around the bellows in there, you know.
That's,
you see.
that's not much, is
No,
it?
no.
But with
That's
a
the
rally
only-
car, yes, you need them strong, don't you? But you
Yeah.
do need a bit of...
Malleability, flexibility, and everything
Because
in the
if it-
chassis. If
it'll
it's too
spread-
yeah.
yeah.
You're always going to find the fuse in the system somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
you know,
Because
so-
if the shell's too tight, an arm will go. If the
Yeah,
arm's too tight,
you
something
know,
else
we're
will
always
go.
looking for stiffness though to maximum, let the suspension do its work and keep the geometry where it's designed to be, really.
Yeah.
You don't want it flexing and moving too much and losing camber or whatever, or flexibility too much. So, but no, she stood up to it really, really well. We've scanned the car now as well.
Okay,
So
yeah.
hence why you can see the scanner doesn't like black surfaces, so we end to spray it with like a chalk dust thing. So that's why it looks misty
Ah, right,
now.
okay.
I've cleaned
Yeah.
most of it off. But so we've totally 3D scanned it now for the CAD modelling
Yeah.
and everything else, and all round the boot area and everywhere. You see, we do a lot of modifications in the back to get the big fuel tank in, which we need for the V8. So this runs a 102 litre fuel bag tank.
Okay, yeah.
Which you'll see in a minute when I think.
Yeah.
And that's
Premier, is that Premier?
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
Yeah, with Richards, and that fits all in there. So there's about 600 hours of fabrication to do a shell.
600 hours,
600
yeah.
hours
Okay.
from one of these. Is the whole rear end, everything's all refabricated, and to sync what we did on the TR, which we carried over to the 6R4. If you have a look, of course, we sunk the roll cage
Integrated
into
roll cage,
into the
I
screen
noticed
pillars
that,
right
yeah.
in, because Pondy's sort of philosophy was, you know, with a case stuck outside, say, side vision in a rally car where
Yeah,
it would block vision.
Is that the main reason?
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
As well, it's really creates such a stiff structure.
Yeah.
You know.
Because you've got there's no gap there.
No,
is there?
no gap. And if you look on a genuine 6R4, which you're doing, you open the door and you see the screen pillar coming down into the screen pillar. It's cut in and welded in around the screen. You see, like there's up to in there, so it's that tight on a 6R4
Yeah.
to get it in. But so that's a lot of work to get that in.
These cars that you're building, are they pretty much, or are they exact replicas
Yes.
of the original works car?
We got an original works car, XGO 414V, which is Roger Clark's Sparkrite car,
Okay.
which he used in a British Championship in 81. So we got that car, which is owned by a good friend of mine, Roger, and we stripped that again.
All right, okay.
Again, measured the parts, took it off
Yeah.
photographs, and so I've rejigged and made everything. So this is a complete copy of a works TR.
That's
As
an
it was
exact
back in,
copy.
yeah, exact copy,
Yeah.
exact copy. You know, so first cars we done, you know, were exact copies with the glass in the doors, and of course the FIA historic regs now allow you to use plexiglass
Yeah.
in the doors and all that. So by moving over to that, we saved 38 kilos.
Really?
Because all the
Yeah.
winder
Glass is expensive.
it is,
heavy,
you know,
isn't
the
it?
plastic, I think, a third of the weight.
Yeah.
But no, all the winder mechanisms, all the
Yeah,
little
yeah.
side bars in the doors, 38 kilos saving alone, you know, so. That's
Because if you look
percentage
at-
terms, 4%.
You've developed these, but if you look at an Escort, which is when you think of a historic rally car now,
Yeah.
you know that's most people's go-to car.
Of course it is, and
but they're not historic. Like this is a controversial thing
Yeah,
to say.
it
isn't
is very controversial. I've been
They are
getting a lot of comments about it.
Yeah, I know, and that's. I think it's talked about a lot, but they are sometimes not completely historic, are they? Like obviously we wouldn't name any names or anything like that. But this is
This
is how it was.
As
Yeah.
it was back in the day, yeah. And that's what I like about historics. I say to people most of the time, again, it's controversial sort of comment, but if you want a historic car, have it historic, as Pondy and Mac and used to drive back in the day, and enjoy it for what it was,
Yeah.
and understand, God, you know, these boys driving these cars,
Yeah.
they had some,
Yeah, yeah.
you know.
Well, they had to drive something that wasn't. It didn't have modern technology.
No,
they just
suspensions
had
and,
what
and
they
bits,
had.
yeah, damping and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this and pieces and that, you know.
And
you're-
braking and
brakes,
stuff like
yeah,
that,
very little brakes on a 13-inch wheels, you know, 262mm disc, you know. Well,
Yeah, yeah.
now if you think on a modern rally car, we're probably into 380 or whatever,
Yeah,
probably on the
yeah.
big cars, WRC cars.
Because
now.
you've rallied modern WRC cars as well.
I did have a
a
S10, yes, I did, yeah. And when Cornwall and a few events with that. And
Tarmac,
yeah,
mainly?
tarmac, yes, yeah. And it you know, the technology and everything is fantastic, you know, to see how, and you getting your head around the physics, how a car can sort of jump and land and control and not suddenly dive off the road, you know, like one of these.
A modern car, when you come over a jump, I'm sure these will be the same because of the modern suspension quality now, but when you come up to a jump, you almost brace yourself for the landing. And then you're like, oh.
Yeah, that's right. And there's a non-event in a way, you
Yeah.
know, but like you say, you don't go to landing, you're waiting to counteract if she's going to try and chuck you off the side of the road.
Yeah.
And hopefully, you know.
And that comes with experience of driving the car, then you get used to that.
Yeah. So, yeah, she's having, like I say, a bit of love and attention now, which she deserves.
Yeah, definitely. So that'll be rebuilt, that'll be all the little niggles
Yeah, all done, and anything else we may find once it's, you know, all the paint's taken off it totally.
This is almost your development car, really, is it?
It is really, yeah. So this car's, like I say, done all the work, and she's leading from the front.
Then
3 wins in 2 seconds.
3 wins in 2 seconds. Kyle and Mark.
With Mark and Carl. Yeah. Phil Pugh did come on one event.
Oh yeah.
And,
we know Phil. He's down the road from us.
He is. He's a good boy. Yeah.
So that goes. So you developed that car in order to make cars for customers, then?
That's right. And this is a brand new shell that we found. Or obtained from a guy, I think, who's had it 35, 40 years.
So you bought it like this?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
And it is a brand new shell, and you can see said he was going to do a rally car from it. And as we all know, sometimes passenger time, family, kids growing up, never actually got round to do anything with it. And I had a phone call, because what we were doing, he said, look, I've got this new shell, and to try and find a TR7 new shell, it's like hen's teeth.
Yeah.
You know, they're really, and it's similar probably with the Escort boys now.
Did they rot badly?
Yeah.
That was the main issue, was it?
They do, I'm afraid to say, because we didn't have all the electrolysis and a plate in the primers that back in the day, you know, it was quite basic stuff. So, so I went up and looked at it and saw it, you know, and so I managed to buy it off him. So this car now is going off to the dippers as well. Yeah. So that will go off to the dippers, be stripped back to a bare shell, and then we'd start doing all the fabrication work on it.
Fabricate it up, and then is this going to be for a customer, or will this be one of yours?
It is, yeah. I think we've got a customer already lined up for this car. So
it's nice to start with. At least you don't have to do any major
that's
fabrication.
right. Yeah, there's no. I've got some other shells in the process of being done that have got, you know, rust in that we, you know, there is some panels out there that we can replace and repair. But it's nice that this one, you know, is basically nothing. It's a bit of surface rust and that, but that'll all come out. Yeah, storage, general thing. But
so there was no composite panels at all on a TR, was there?
No.
No plastic or?
No, plastic, of course.
But
bits and pieces. No, on panels, no. But no, it's all steel.
Because they're quite a heavy car, I bet, aren't they?
They are. The shell, I think, is, you know.
Even though it's a short car, it's still.
The metal is strong. That's a good thing. Like say with the cage, you can feel how, you know, compared to modern metals. I know modern metals are more tensile strength. You know, this you can feel the thickness in it, you know, and everything. And that's why, with the cage, when it's all stitched into the thing, it's really strong. Really strong.
Yeah. So a good tarmac car then.
Yeah, well, the TR was the car in the British Championship. We won every tarmac round, of course. And the RAC at Pembrey, we were fastest there, I think, with one of the Escort lads, but we were fastest again, you know, at Pembrey. So every tarmac rally, I think, in the British Historic Championship, we've been quickest. Yeah. So it's
and is that's because you're in a TR, you're quite far. There's a lot of weight over the back axle, so a lot of traction.
We're virtually weight distributed, still slightly front heavy.
Right.
52-48%. You know, on the scales.
Is that because of the size of the engine?
Yeah. Well, it's all aluminium engine. You'll see one in a minute. You know, we've redone all the blocks, but yeah, the engine and it is. But then we got a 4HA axle in the back. Yeah. Which is a big old lump. Piece, yeah. You know, reliable, but she's a big old yoke.
That's a Jag axle, basically.
Yes, it is. Yeah. The 4HA.
Because I've driven a P6 rally car, Rover P6 with a V8 in it. Yeah. And the torque in it, you could almost take off you could put it in fifth and pull off down the road.
That was a lovely thing. We went to Sweetland the other year, and Mark was doing some driving there, and Marion Evans had one of his, or two of his historic Escorts there. Yeah. And I managed to have a sit in with Mark and go round. Okay. And it's fantastic to see the difference, really, where the Escort, you could really get into, even in the apex of the corner, and change direction and move around. It's so controllable,
predictable.
Predictable. Well, the TR, you know, you've got to pick your line. You've got to know where you want to be and stick to it. But coming out the corners with the Escort, you're saying, come on,
It's
come
like
on, let's
fogging.
go. Yeah, then come
yeah.
on, why aren't we going anywhere? Well, the TR, you know, you grab another gear
Instant
and
torque, yeah.
talk, and that was the difference, you know. And it's horses for courses is what makes
Yeah,
it
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
But that's the good thing as well. That it's nice. I love driving an Escort. I've driven an Escort quite a few times, rallied one, and I love it. I love driving them. But as a spectator point of view, especially on the RAC, it was so good to see a couple of Escorts, Stratos,
And the TR.
and the TR7 V8 coming
I think
around
this
because
is
the
what,
noise on it.
Yeah, the noise and everything with the Stratus, and that's what's made the historic championship now so interesting for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Going out there, whether of my generation who were back in the day rallying them, or modern people now, you know, the younger generation come out and they say, oh, the Stratus is coming, or the TR is coming.
Yeah.
You know, and as well as in Escorts, you know, all well-driven cars. Yeah. You can see them, you know, hanging out. You know, you watch the modern or the latest four-wheel drive cars allowed in the British Championship. No being disrespect, but they're not exciting to watch.
No,
they're not exciting to watch, I'm afraid.
And that's what, like, Group B and even in the 70s, Group 4 and stuff like that. Every car was its own show, wasn't it?
Really? It was really.
And they were all different.
I'd like to see some Jameson's out
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Chevette
yeah.
HSR, though. It'd be great if some Lotus Sunbeams were coming out. I believe a couple are being done now, which would be great to see.
They were short.
They were as well.
downfall.
Yeah, but won the RAC.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, which is great.
Yeah.
You know, the year Pondy went off into Lions Den, you know, he should have won the RAC. He was favourite one. I remember there's an interview, I think, of all the Ford people, like a get together before
Was that the Knowsley crash? Was it Knowsley? Or was it
no,
down here, wasn't it?
Longleat.
Longleat,
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
First stage again, Tony, nerves or whatever. He, you know, went off under the Lions Den table and feeding table and hit the front. Went down to 153rd place, come back and finished 7th. But you look at the stage times, and he possibly would have won.
Won it if it wasn't for that.
Yeah, if it wasn't for that.
Yeah.
But that's rallying.
That's rallying, as they say. Yeah.
It's like us on the RC
Famous
last year.
quote.
We were, you know, on for the podium and all the rest of it. But then, you know,
Then Mark threw it off into the weeds. We got some footage of that.
yeah. I think that's to Mark's annoyance. Yeah, bless him. But yeah,
So let's go. Let's go on to some fully built TRs, so we can see
this
those.
is a brand new build.
Right. So these.
This is sold.
This is so. This was you built this.
Yes.
And then sold it to a customer.
If you want to pop the bonnet and have a look. So
Look at that. That is absolutely immaculate.
So this would be a race retro. Taking this car to race retro.
Yeah, we'll be there. Yeah.
So this is what they should look like. Fully
Look at that.
complete and built. So like an Escort can be an Escort. There's not a lot of room left in the engine bay of these.
No.
It's totally dominated by the engine and the carburation and the other bits and pieces.
Have you developed these airboxes?
Now that's a copy again. This is a full recreation of a factory car.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Everything you see from the reservoirs and all the rest of it is full factory spec of back in the day.
Even the little strap.
Yeah, strap for the washer bottle and bits and pieces. Yeah, we've sort of copied it exactly. You know.
So is this more of a museum piece, or will it be used, do you think?
Well, you know, these we produce cars anyway, the standard. You know, if the person decides to take it out and write off on the first event, what can we do
It.
about that? You know, but no, hopefully the chap will come out and do some events with it.
That's what they're made for, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Made for rallying.
You know, people do say to me, Dave, you're going to build a car and someone could take it out suddenly and destroy it. Well, you know.
Well, they'll have to bring it back, won't they?
They'll have to bring it back. Yeah, that's it. But, you know, it's fun. But you have a look, all the instrumentation we copied. If you come in through the driver's side and open the door and have a look, we've copied all the... So, you know, that is exactly how Pond would have seen and Pierre Eklund back in the day, the dash layout and everything.
Exactly how it
and
would have
Roger
been.
Clark, yeah, exactly the same, yeah. And,
I remember Carl was telling us last night about the cigarette lighter. That's even the same.
Yeah,
still
I'm
in
afraid so. Yeah. Now, of course, we have fitted some modern USB
Yeah,
connections there for Carl. Keep
Break.
Princess
Did
happy.
you have, and look at this.
The tartan trim.
trim.
Yeah.
I like that.
And that was all back in the road TR7s back in the days. So
Yeah.
you had this tartan trim, going back to the Bay City rollers, really. Yeah.
Brake bias.
Bias, yeah.
Did you have one there on?
Yes,
the,
yeah. That's exactly the same place, and oh, it's a
They're
mod-
quite a tight place to be, aren't they?
They are. Once you're sat in, though, they're very, very, very comfortable.
Yeah.
As Mark and Carl said, once you're in, it's really comfortable. And you got to say, you know, this is really a sports car.
It is,
Compared to
yeah.
the Escorts were saloon cars,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, modified. But this is a sports car, and the vision was the biggest problem. As you see, you know, I know we talked about the screen pillars earlier, but you are sat quite a bit further back.
A lot of bonnet.
Yes.
Yeah.
And while in an Escort, the thing I noticed with an Escort, I felt like I was sat on a bar stool.
Every
Quite
Escort
high
driver
and look at Yeah.
They almost drive over
But
the
that's right.
front
And that's,
of the wheel.
as a passenger, I felt like I was on the bar stool,
Yeah.
about to fall off.
Yeah, okay.
But that's the sort of seating position.
Yeah,
of it.
yeah, yeah.
Well, this, you know, you're sat down in a, you know,
Yeah.
lovely, relaxing
With your legs,
position with your
yeah.
legs out, you know, and body back.
And that takes a totally different driving style then as well, doesn't it?
It does,
The way you
yeah,
sit
yeah,
in the car.
where you're seeing and what you're trying to see.
The dashboard as well, all the
Yes,
clocks. And that's
yeah, all
how
the
it
clocks,
was in-
Smith's gauges, yeah, and everything, yeah. So they're all made in South Wales now.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a company, Carbon Gauges.
I think I've dealt with them.
Yes.
Yeah. They'll rebuild the clock if you've got a failed
That's
clock
it
and
as
stuff.
well, I think, yeah. So, you know, we've managed to sort of try and keep the gauges exactly as period.
It looks good.
Yeah, it does, you know. And
I was going to say helmet storage is a
yeah,
big one.
that's
Is
it.
that what those hooks are
That's
for?
what the hooks
Yeah.
are, the helmet things. Of course, we've had one thing we've had to do with the FIA is put this diagonal bar in there.
Okay, so that wasn't
That,
in the original.
no, but there was no way HTV papers would have been given without us putting the bar in there. So we've had to put that in. And of course, the only trouble with that now is reduce the helmet storage or putting your helmet in the back.
What
No.
about toolkit? Do you,
Yeah, we do carry a toolkit usually in the boot area.
So you do have a spare on the boot, do you?
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
it. Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
Sits on there, and there's holes.
But that is
strap.
only just if you've got a long stage or
Yes,
you
that's
try
what
not
we-
to run to.
No,
Yeah.
we did use it on the RAC, as you saw.
Yeah.
There's the catches for it there, and bag tank. You see, 102 litre bag tank.
Yeah.
All the dry sump systems in, the fuel systems.
That's
up
quite a
here
big tank,
and
really, isn't
It is.
So you do all right on.
We do, yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't have any issues the last stage of the RAC 37 mile.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, well, the Escort boys and a few were worrying about fuel.
Yeah.
We weren't worried too much.
No. And I suppose because it's more or less over the back wheels,
Yeah,
you're
which
not
is great.
fussed about speed.
No, Mark liked it. Even, you know, putting the wheel on the back, the traction was certainly
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
Mark liked that.
Because a lot of people like to skimp on fuel for weight.
Of course,
but
yeah, that it's always
but
compromised.
it's always
But
a
the
yeah.
balances of the traction and the thing.
Yeah.
You know, Mark was saying, you know, I know we used to say how much fuel we're going to carry. We'd always over-fueled it a bit for make sure we didn't get caught out.
Yeah.
But then, you know, when you do run it lighter, it certainly does less traction
Yeah,
on the back.
yeah.
But, yeah, so that is exactly how the works layout was back in the day. And
Dry sumped as well?
yeah, all dry sumped, yeah. The blocks, I say, the engines are over there in a minute. I showed. I've had the blocks all recast and redone.
Okay.
Yeah. So brand new blocks, not a modified, shall we say, Land Rover block or SD1 block.
Is that what that's what they are they? Or?
Yeah. The V8 was, you know,
Yeah.
like you say, a P6.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
It's a Buick engine at the end of the day, a 215 Buick American.
Yeah, yeah.
Rover bought the rights from Buick and
Okay.
and used it in all sorts of
Because
P6.
they went in a lot of things, didn't
They
they?
did.
People
Morgan's
took them
even, you know,
Yeah.
it was a, you know, it's like the Escort engine now, or the
the Pinto or
Pintos
something
and
like that,
stuff
yeah.
like that. You know,
Yeah.
it gets used in modern days now. Look at BMW engines now being put in Range Rovers and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So
And kit cars in like the
kit
70s
cars.
were quite
Yeah,
popular,
yeah,
weren't
it's,
they?
It's cheap power,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
Really light as well, really, compared to a cast iron block.
Yeah.
So yeah, see, but now then, this is
This
the
car?
built, yeah, and this one. So this is really within the rules that we found in the latest FIA rules. Like you say, it's all plexiglass now.
Okay. So is this
Yeah.
the evolution?
You could call it a slight evolution. Shall we say like a stage 2
Yeah.
car? So it's 80 kilos lighter.
Okay.
Then
So
it's got-
what have you
in
done in
total.
total for that then? Glass?
Glass.
If there's any secrets you don't
Yeah,
have to
that's
tell us.
right. Yeah. Phil Mills will be watching this.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just looking at everything, you know, in the boot area, around all the bag tank surrounds and bits to just.
So did you look at the shell and like in that state there where it's completely bare and go, right, we could probably cut these out?
Some more brackets and bits and pieces out, but no sort of changing the safety cell
No.
of the car. Of course, no risk of that doing. But then just looking.
I can see some things straight away.
Yeah.
It's like these.
Yeah,
Just little bits like
little
that.
bits like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, you probably save a few washers.
Yeah.
But you know, every little helps.
But I
as they
mean-
say. Yeah.
Back in the day, yeah, there's a Kielder tool there.
Yeah.
We're sponsored by Kielder. So
Are you?
Show them
Oh,
that.
good. You could send me some.
Yeah. But it's surprising that they didn't do little bits like that in the past.
No, I think, you know, the boys then, you know, BL team was very much a factory team.
Okay.
So lads were coming like off the
Off the
build
production
lines,
line,
yeah,
yeah.
but the unions were involved, as we know, you know,
Yeah,
Ford
yeah.
at Boreham and stuff like that. So, you know, really it's,
The
it's
only
different.
BL car I've had is an Allegro.
Is it?
I had an Equip,
Yeah.
the Allegro Equip.
Yeah, I
which
remember
is quite a
those.
rare
Silver
car.
with the,
yeah, with the stripes. on it,
stripes.
Yeah.
Was it 1750 engine,
1750,
twin carb? Yeah.
Twin SUs.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Quite good car actually.
It's been fully restored now.
Has
I'll
it?
put a picture of it on actually,
Yeah.
but not by us. But so yeah, this is the Evolution 2. Has this been out yet?
Yeah, this done EPA. Won the class in EPA.
yeah.
It was doing really well. There's only, I think, one BMW M3 in front of us.
All right, yeah.
And then we had a problem with the handbrake. Mark wanted a smaller bore handbrake to give it more pressure feel.
Yeah.
And put it on, and it was a non.
I mean, a
UK
BMW
spec
is a
one.
Group A car, isn't it?
It
So,
is,
I mean,
yes. 15
you
years
can't
later, with a dog gearbox and all the rest
Yeah,
of it. But
yeah. Well,
it was
those
great.
modern
Oh,
BMWs,
yeah, the
like
Max
touring
ones,
cars, aren't they?
They are.
Basically,
The
yeah.
engines are fantastic. But it was great to see we were competitive. You know, we still finished, won the class.
Yeah.
And in the top 10, which
And
is
it's
great.
the reliability is the other thing.
It
isn't
is, you know, and that's the thing, because if you look at the old works books, which I've got and show you now, and each chassis number, DNA
Oh, really?
engine, yeah.
Yeah.
There's very few that actually finish
So
rallies.
it wasn't the car as such, like the setup of the car or anything. It was more reliability issues with engines and components.
Yeah,
and things.
yeah. If we got to be right, it was really, and of course I suppose with 40 years more development in materials and bits like that, and quality control processes, you're able to get reliability back, and that's what I say with 003. Every rally it finished really. Mark, when he finished on 2, where Mark slid off the side of the road, or we had 2 punctures, and we only had 1 spare.
Yeah.
You know, I think, and that's
things
why we
that you
decided to
can't
use the boot spot
Yeah,
and to run. So, but no, so this will be out. We're doing Corsica. We've got an entry into Corsica.
Okay,
This,
that'll
towards
be
the end
good
of the
run.
year, which will
Yeah.
be brilliant.
With
And
Mark?
With Mark, and Carl. And Killarney, we're going to be doing Killarney as well.
The
end
festival
of the
or
year.
the actual rally?
The start rally, the proper job, and that. So we use this chassis. This is 004, so this will be going
So
out.
that'll be good to see that out.
Yeah, do a bit more
Even
testing.
Just noticed the belt.
Yeah, that's that copy. Yeah.
Period belt, that is. That,
Period
that
belt,
came off,
leather.
That came off one of the waists of a BL engineer, that did.
yeah. That's right. Those are our trousers. But we get a local saddler to make all those.
Oh,
for us.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
supply the rings and the bits and that, and get them.
I love that attention to detail though. It's just
Yeah.
cool, isn't it?
It is, well, we could use one of the more modern straps
but
in a way, but
it
they're
adds to the
really
character as well.
It does. They do the job, and everything, which is great to see.
Like a bridle.
It is, yeah. It is
Yeah.
a bridle. That's it. Yeah, the like you say, the horsey people round here.
The other question I was going to ask about a TR7 is, you know the headlamps, are they vacuum operated?
No, motors.
They're motors.
Yeah,
But
Lucas
do
lit
you,
on
do you
motors.
leave them just up all the time?
Yeah.
So you
most of
take the
time.
motors out?
Yeah,
and
take the
lock 'em
motors
up?
out and lock them up. Yeah.
That was
we
one
can
thing.
lock them down or lock them up.
Because I was thinking, you mean you obviously need your headlights, but
Yeah.
I was wondering if they were functional as far as up
No,
and down.
no. The regulations allowed you to do that back in the day, to move the motors and pin them up or pin them closed,
So can you pin them closed quite quickly if you wanted?
Yeah,
if you
it's
ever
possible.
wanted to?
It's possible.
Say if you're doing Pembrey, like
Yeah,
on the
that's
REC,
right,
would you
yeah.
lock them down for that?
Yes, that's right. Because it gets the aerodynamics quite a
Yeah,
bit
yeah,
down
that's what I
and
thought,
stuff
yeah.
like that. But a lot of the drivers like them up because, like you've noticed, about the long distance from the driving seat to the
You
front
can
of
use
the
it
car.
as a
Yeah,
point of reference.
A point of reference.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can see where that front corner is.
That's the
and,
problem, isn't
that
it?
is the problem.
You almost need a flag otherwise.
Well, that's right. We thought about for Mark, because he's quite small.
yeah.
Put a little flag up, but this is a bag tank. So that's that's the genuine works copy of
So
fuel
that's
tank.
Premier fuel tanks.
Yeah.
They've been going a long time, haven't
They
they?
have, yeah. One of the very innovators back in the war for the Spitfires.
that
Where
where
all
it's-
the technology come from. Yeah. So that's there. This one's just out of commission.
Yeah.
You can extend them another 2 years.
So
if
how
you
long-
want to.
that's- oh
That
yeah, that's
ran
the
out
end,
in-
isn't it?
Then you could send it back for they do a pressure test and get another 2-year license on it.
Yeah.
But really, we don't run it. So that's just used now for
That
mocking
is
up.
a big tank, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I don't know what an Escort is now. What
60 litres.
It
I
is
think,
60
yeah.
litres.
But you
that's
can
all.
get a bigger one for like
Yeah.
a safari spec
Yeah,
tank,
that
I
might
think.
take 80. Or,
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
But
But normally it's a 60, I think.
yeah, we could put a smaller one, and I suppose do away with this and just have that on if it is short events. But
Yeah. So you've had all these commissioned?
yes, that's
for-
right. A Premier, thank God, Richard and the boys there, very good people to work with. They had all the original patterns, all
really?
the
Still-
drawings. Yeah.
still
When I
kept it
first
all?
rang him up probably 10 years ago about the project, he come back to me. Yeah, Dave, I found the photographs
Oh,
that his
really?
dad done, you know, and everything. So
That's the exciting thing about
Yeah.
this, the whole historic thing. It's a little bit like reenacting wars, isn't it? You know, everyone
is
dresses
really.
up like they were.
Yeah, sad,
and all
isn't it,
that.
really?
Yeah, but it's really interesting
It
when
is, yeah.
people find the old drawings of
Yeah, the
things.
bits
And,
and-
I found this from back
Yeah.
in the day, and then you talk to people about who worked on them, and it brings out a story in
story,
everyone.
yeah,
doesn't it?
and the fact, and it's great that people do talk about it, because otherwise that information's lost, isn't
Yeah.
it? Like in a lot of things.
Yeah.
And then hearsay and other people's perceptions can come into the thing. Well, you're dealing with the boys that were doing it back in the day. It's facts.
Yeah.
You're dealing with facts then,
Yeah.
the known truth, you know. and
So is
stuff.
this project of doing the TRs, is that more of a personal...
It
Did you-
is,
did
yeah,
you, Did you
definitely.
look at it and go, "Do you know what, I really want to do
Yeah,
that?
yeah, going back, you know, I think 10 years ago I started the first thing when we were up at Brackley running the Aston GT project and everything.
Yeah.
It was always something, you know, need something to occupy my time in between. And,
Yeah.
and I always had a project I wanted to go back to, and historic rallying was starting to come into
Yeah.
the foy
Yeah.
forward. And I thought, well, let's, you know, no one's doing a TR. Because an Escort, you can have virtually a kit of parts for an Escort arrive the next day from
Yeah.
engine, from
Yeah.
Sherwoods and John Dell's, or all the other
Yeah.
boys, body shells,
Yeah.
you know,
There's
gearboxes.
so many people
yeah,
around
so
our
many-
area
yeah, that's
in
right,
Wales
in
that are
Wales,
doing escorts,
Yeah.
and I love it.
No, it is a benchmark, and I
Yeah.
can see why fantastic cars.
Yeah, yeah.
It annoys me, but they are.
Yeah. But this is just, I like.
Yeah, so
seeing
to do something different, and as I said, it's first rally cars I ever had, so there was that sort of
There's
connection.
that connection there,
and
yeah.
BL, I've always been involved with BL products, as
yeah.
it was, you know, and gone. So yeah, to get one, I think we went and got a road car that was tidy, and
Okay.
put that on. We
So that's that. So the original shell, the one.
Yeah,
That's the
003.
first shell that you ever built as a rally car.
No,
Is it?
this is.
Oh, this is all
Yeah,
right. So we
this
haven't
is.
talked about this yet.
No.
So this is number one.
This is number one. This is my car.
This is your personal car.
Yeah, my personal car, and it's like all your personal cars and mechanics cars. You never
Last,
get round to
yeah.
get any work.
So this was just a standard road car.
No, this
No?
was a brand new shell. So I managed to find an old BL dealer
Okay.
from back in the day, and he had some shells in an old shed, on the pallets, in primer, covered in straw dust things, you know, where they'd been chucked away.
Yeah.
I had a phone call from one of our friends again, rallying lads in Wales.
Yeah.
Oh, Dave, give this guy a ring. I think he's got some shells.
Oh really?
Yeah, and we rang him up, and it's one of those, hello, yeah. I believe he got some TR7 shells. He'd probably been waiting for my call 30 years,
Yeah,
sat there by the phone, you know. So we went over and looked at them, and yeah, we bought them. So
how many did
that's
you have?
brand new. There was two of those
Okay.
in that collection. Yeah, this car here, and the one we just finished there, that's brand new. And pick up that door there.
This door here.
Anyone, yeah, either one,
Yeah.
whichever are easiest to get to.
That's quite heavy.
Now, Sean, pick up that door there.
This door here.
Yeah, that's a door off of 003 now, from the RAC.
So this has come off the
Yeah,
the
off of
rally door.
003.
Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, yeah. Well, you can see you've taken a lot out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is it's all painted up ready though. That.
Yeah, that's it. That was in 003 that we done the British Championship and running
Oh,
everything.
so
up.
you ran it in
Yeah.
with these doors on it?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
it. So for the RAC then, of course, with the rules changing that we
Yeah.
could use plastic and everything, I've done another pair of doors,
You've lost like in 2 doors.
38 kilos.
Yeah.
And you can feel that.
Yeah. There's a lot there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe that weight saving in a pair of doors.
No. No.
You know.
But I know doors are heavy on
Yeah.
like all vehicles.
modern cars,
aren't
like
they?
seats in it and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So it's huge weight saving. Yeah. And let's say going to the engines now, where let me put this over there at the way. It's all the bits stripped off of 003 up here.
So that's where 003.
Yeah, all its bits, or most
All
of
its
the bits.
internals.
Yeah, we can see the engines around the corner, and
Yeah.
the axle and the gearbox and stuff.
So these are
brand
the
new
engines
blocks, yeah.
that are going in. So that's
the
a really nice way to send it off, isn't it? Like that. Imagine getting that delivered in that box like that. That's a
Full flight
birthday
case.
present, isn't it?
Yeah. And we do that with the axles and gearboxes. Everything's got flight cases.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's all in there. So we take that along as a spare.
Oh, you take that with you?
We take it as complete spare. We took it with us on all the major rallies, just in case you get any issues. But the blocks are brand new, cast by Cosworth for us,
Okay.
and then machined by Judds, John
Right.
Judds, who a lot of people will know as
Yeah. Formula One, yeah.
engine builders, and Pete Goodman.
So who did it back in the day then? Were they in-house?
Yeah, in-house. Cliff Humphreys and John Manklow with it, and that where the engine builders.
Would they have been studded back then?
No.
No.
No, it would have been bolts.
Yeah.
But we're using studs now, ARP studs and bits like that. Again, because it's like what I was saying earlier, you know, evolution of materials and specs, and that's brought reliability.
Yeah.
You know.
That's probably quite a light block being aluminium, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Although, you know, being a competition block, it's heavier.
So when you originally cast the block that you used to, was there any imperfections in those? Or were they pretty good?
Original ones were quite. The liner was the biggest problem in the pattern work back in the day. The liners were thing, and they could break through the wall and into the water jacket and stuff like that. But
we're on the edge here, I suppose.
Yes, in the edge in there, liners. But now we're running, you know, like I say, better liner materials, better everything. So it's.
Is there less water jacket on them, or is that just how they were? There's not many water jackets on them.
No holes, you know, they're integrated. Being aluminium, the heat, you know, into the block is a lot better than a thermal efficiency than a cast iron block and stuff. So I see, but all the inlet manifolds are to be FIA correct, are all handmade.
Oh, really?
Steel,
yeah.
You know, and they're all handmade. There's a lot of work goes into that. We don't do that in house here. We got a chap in Wales who makes those for us, hand makes them.
Is that just?
Yes, it's like a composite gasket.
Just a composite gasket.
So in there, you know,
Because there's a head gasket in.
Yeah, that just sits in there. Look, that's just covering the you know, the valley.
Yeah.
It's all open, you know, underneath there. You can look in there. And if you look in a genuine 6R4 block, which is V6, there's a secondary plate here, casting plate with a dot on. If you look through, you'll see these webs.
Oh, right. You see it still there. Yeah.
Still there.
Because on
original tool pattern work.
They also modified the heads on the 6R4, didn't they? They
were full valve, full cam heads, you know. But going back to the early 6R4 event when we ran the V6 cut down Rover.
Yeah. So that was only in the prototype cars, wasn't it?
Yes. The first three, and just to test and get the diffs and all the transmission work done.
Yeah.
We had to have some power unit to get that done. They were only 250 brake, you know, and quite low powered. But it is, you see those early V6 blocks, you know, you see where the weld was done, where the heads were cut and welded back up to do it, you know, it's quite a bit of engineering work there back in the day for the last.
So while we're on 6R4 subjects, can we have a look at the shell here?
Yeah, this is a shell for a car.
So this is 6R4s. Is we've got to talk about 6R4s and you, because this is, you know, pretty much everything about a 6R4.
I am a bit of a sado in compared to 6R4. Spent many decades playing with the 6R4s, and then this project now, father and son own this car.
So is this any history of this car, or was it a Clubman car?
Sorry,
was it a Clubman?
Yes,
road
Clubman,
car.
yes, that's
road car?
Clubman, one of the 200. That was incorrect. It's done a lot of competition work, used by the client, you know, on rallies for his own personal use and bits and thing, and and now, being a father and son, he's come to want it rebuilt. Like you would do, you know, and everything. So it arrived with us. Pete's got the engine, through the engine and everything else, and transmission. We'd do all the suspension and put it all back together for him, hopefully, and turn it out as a nice car for him to use.
Will that go into international spec car, or?
Sort of. It's going to be on a plenum engine, so it's going to be one of the sort of 2.8 plenum engines compared to, let's say, a 2.5 international, 3-litre international. Okay. Because, you know, when they banned Group B, we managed to carry on using the 6R4s in a national championship, but they had to be taken down to 2.8, and we had to do away with the international injection. Is that single plenum? But then, of course, the rules allowed you to run international injection as long as the engine was 2.5.
Right.
So then you suddenly saw the international injection come back, but the engine for a 2.5.
Because there was a period, even after Group B was banned, that the 6R4s were on every rally, weren't they?
They were. We had the challenge after the Group B was challenged.
The Super Prix.
Super Prix, the racing and stuff. And
were you involved with that?
With
the Super Prix?
Yeah, we had cars out in that. Yeah, and that's it. We had 2 years that ran. You know, Tony won both events. Yeah. You know.
So you'd have worked with Tony, Malcolm.
Yes.
And were you doing all the international rallies with WRC
most
events?
of them we done. You know, the team there. We had good lads. You know, which are still around now. You see the lads that were involved. Ronnie Meadows was a lad who come in now. He's, I think, technical director at McLaren. Sorry to cut that out. Mercedes F1.
Yeah.
You see on the pit wall, you know, on the pit wall Ron sat there, you know, very senior position at F1 Mercedes.
I heard a story, you can tell me if it's true or not, about Sweden, because there are a lot of gearbox problems with the 6R4.
We had transmission issues and a few other issues to be said.
So one story I heard was Sweden, Frozen Lake.
Yeah.
They took the gearbox out.
That's right. Shane Hone, I know, put the rear diff, I think. It was the rear diff. I think Shane Hone, who was one of our lads from New Zealand, come over and worked with us on the project. And they changed the rear diff. And Shane, you know, like you do, you had the tray for carrying your wheel nuts in, but put the diff to one side and then turn around, and the next thing is sort of sunk in through the ice and thing and in a pool of water.
That's it. Someone said it had sunk through the ice and disappeared into the. So you had to do you dig it out or just leave it there?
I don't know what happened. I never found out. Never had it. I think we must have saved it. Must have.
There we go. That is a true story.
That is a true story.
Yeah,
and there's not myth. That is a true story. Yeah. No,
and you were saying about the integrated.
If you see down the screen pillars now, you'll see this detail.
Oh yeah.
The roll cage sunk into the screen and then welded up round, you know.
And that was mainly for the vision.
Mainly for the vision, and kept the full Metro screen look. And there is no restriction to the vision at all.
Yeah. It does make sense, doesn't it?
It does, and be integral into the side structure and bits like that. It's not so much on the 6R4, but on the TR it's more wrapped round.
Is this a pretty good example of a clean original shell? This one, then?
It's not bad. It's very good. Yeah, it's very good. Yeah, you know, it's not got the aluminium roof skin. I don't think.
Okay, they were aluminium skins.
Hang on, let me just check. No. Oh no, it has. It has got the rivets in it.
But you can see at the back here where it looks like it's got a skin on it. But
yeah, I think it's steel. So better cut that out. The original ones we had aluminium roof skins.
Right. Okay. So you know the famous photos of them all sat in the back lot.
Yes.
And they were mainly like this colour.
Yeah.
Road cars
with the sort of more yellowy fiberglass wings on.
Yeah. They hadn't been sold. They were just sat around.
In the yard.
Would this probably been one of those?
Yes, it probably would have been. This is chassis number 153, genuine. You know, to be a genuine 6R4 on 200, you need this chassis number 570. You know.
Right. Okay.
And this is 152 actually. 152. So it's very important to be a genuine 6R4 to have that number.
Right. Okay.
The prefix SAX.
Yeah.
But the last 6 digits, 570, and then whatever. I've got all the details of every chassis and the body shell numbers. Some people get confused saying, "Oh, well, I've got 6R4 and it's number 152," and then they say point to a plaque that's riveted on here, an aluminium plaque, which had 6R4 stamped into it and then 3 digits, but that's the body shell number, not the chassis number.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people think, oh, well, I've got chassis, 152, but that's just a body shell. And there are more body shells than chassis numbers, of course, from the rallying days.
Because I've heard of a few body shells still kicking about unregistered.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But I suppose it's hard to prove because...
No, there is. One come up last week. Someone rang me about one, and I said, well, the trouble is, we build it up as a 6R4, but the value's not going to be there fully because it hasn't got the chassis number.
Yeah.
And that's the trouble with it. And then does it become like one of these, a recreation?
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
And that's not where the money is as far
as
investment
the collectors and all the rest of it.
They want that.
Want this.
Yeah.
They need that, don't they? Really, to be a genuine sort of car. At the end of the
and
day.
that's the turret.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying about the early days. From the early cars, you can see where we had lacked bump and suspension travel. It come very late in the program. You can see where, that's where it ended.
Oh yeah.
And it gave us this sort of 100 mil, 4-inch increase in travel, in suspension travel.
And then a modified bonnet to go with it.
And then modified, then suddenly, like you say, you got this great bloody tower stuck up. Oh, how did we cover that? Well, we just moulded over the bonnet. Yeah. And you see on the rear extensions as well. Though.
Yeah, because there was a lot of. Was it fiberglass or was there Kevlar on these as well?
Internationals, we had Kevlar.
Yeah.
Yeah, and carbon.
Because you had on the International car, you had a big diffuser on the back as well, didn't you? On tarmac. Was it like
on the sub guard, yes.
Yeah, like
yeah, that's right. With the side.
Yeah,
specs,
and wheel fans, which were banned as well.
Yes, banned later on, which everyone was using. But they were to be on the homologation. You had to do 20 evolution
models,
to be international spec. We called them international spec, and they had all the carbon bodywork and wings and bits. Okay. And in Portugal, we ran a titanium and aluminium honeycomb front end, so all the front wings are all aluminium and honeycomb and titanium. Yeah, okay. That was really quite trick.
So there can't be many of those around, really.
No, I think because it was deemed at the time. I think it wasn't as rigid. Tony felt it wasn't as structurally as good as the steel.
So Tony did nearly all the development on this, didn't he?
He did really, yeah, the early days, and Malcolm joined us from from the RS200 program really, and stuff. But Tony was probably the lead, definitely the lead.
And you were alongside him for that.
Yeah, we were there, with a lot of other lads, like I say, characters which you would know. Andy Brown, you come across Andy Brown? Andy Brown. He went to America, ran Dave Higgins.
Oh, right,
and stuff like that. Up at M Sport still. Wilkie, La Wilkie.
Yeah.
Wilkie come down. Malcolm brought Andy down.
So they're all. Oh, he brought them.
You brought them down. When he came, he brought a couple of his.
Right. Okay.
Good lieutenant, shall we say?
Yeah.
A better word, down to help on the programme, and these lads are still involved in motorsport. Paul Dowling, Paul Drake, Dave Hart, John West, Andy Gasser, all these characters, lads are still around, thank God. And
so when later on, after the works team finished, and you had David Appleby Engineering, or was it Motorsport?
Motorsport then.
Did you? So we're going to talk about the Dam 4100, because that came, when did that? Early 90s, mid 90s?
Yeah, no, early 90s.
Because that was so the Dam 4100 was basically the Rover 100 or the Rover Metro GTI. So the shape, the Metro, the second generation Metro after the early 6R4 shape. You then developed.
We thought got to modernise it really a bit. So the Rover 100 come out, as you said, more rounded and more looking.
Yeah.
So then we converted some of the 6R4s with that bodywork on. And done that. It was quite.
So did you get a 6R4, strip it to a shell like this?
Yes, that's right, and we put the rounded bodywork on. That was the first 4 cars. We've done 4 cars like that. And
so then, no other modifications, just bodywork to start with?
Just bodywork, just bodywork to make it look more modern and bring it in line with the BL products at the time. And then we thought, well, let's do our own chassis, and then we made it longer wheelbase.
So you got a 6R4 chassis
and a flip back,
and
as
modified
well,
it. Okay.
like the RS200, get the weight down. And the whole box sections inside, we'd hold and flange, aluminium floor skins and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we got the cars a lot lighter.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. Saved quite.
And then you were saying about you made them a little bit longer.
Yeah.
So
made them longer.
Better for the high speed stuff.
That's right. Yeah. And it did seem to work well. I won quite a few rallies with.
So you built the original one for yourself?
Yes.
Yeah.
Rallied that.
And then a few people went, "Oh, can I have one, Dave?"
Or like these, we carried on building them, and people coming along, "Oh yeah, I'll buy that."
Yeah.
And there's a couple of them still around.
Yeah. So do you have any involvement with those?
We did. We had the yellow one back, which I think is coming out at Iconic Auctions.
That's for sale now, isn't it?
This coming next weekend.
I think it's sold recently. It sold a couple of years ago.
You did.
90 grand, was it?
Yeah.
It was
cheap.
quite. Is that yeah?
It's cheap, really.
So were they 6R4 registrations and things? Were they basically a genuine 6R4?
Yes.
So if you had one and someone really wanted to,
you could convert it back. Yeah. And that, to be fair, the value is more in a genuine 6R4 than a 4100.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
People want the original Group B car.
Yeah.
So you have people who own a 4100 could turn it back to a 6R4 and the value would be increased.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
So it's coming full circle, where we're getting from the TR, early competition days at Abingdon and BL into the 6R4.
Into the 6R4.
Which is the last of the projects we ran there.
So there's one more. Can we have a look at that 6R4 there?
Yes. This is owned by a well-known race driver as well.
Okay.
So he owns this car. It's come in. He's bought it.
Yeah.
And it's come in for some recommissioning work, really.
Do you still?
I think this is Ian Donaldson's. I think I'm correct. But I apologise if I am wrong. But I think Ian Donaldson's car. This was that. Ian was one of the first privateers to run a 6R4. Won the Motor and News Championship in that year in '86.
Yeah. Okay.
And this is
40 years ago.
Yeah, 40. That's oh god. Yeah, think of that. Yeah.
Same age as me.
Yeah. Well, I was a young man then.
Yeah.
So this is a car.
So is this a Belgian car, or is it just gone for that livery?
It's gone for that livery.
Yeah.
This is livery, which is quite. A lot of people love this, and I must admit, it's quite an attractive livery.
Yeah.
Next to computer vision, which is more popular. This is very attractive livery.
Yeah.
So it's got
cigarettes are.
Yeah, that's right.
They always did good liveries, didn't they?
They did.
So I don't recognise the reg. It's obviously C-Reg, so it is an 86, but I don't.
Yeah.
Is this another started off life as a Clubman car?
Yes.
Yeah, and it's what is it now? Is it a bit of both?
Yes, it's got the engine is back to 3 litre now.
Yeah.
With International, but with the big air filter, which is a Goodman's modification, but that's got the full international induction system on it and the full cam. We built this engine back kind of 4 years ago.
Okay.
Prior to this chap owning it, you know, and it's a great piece, you know, and everything. Like I say, we just come in to do some recommissioning work on it now.
So these strips just for the
that was it. Where the
just to stop it rubbing.
That's and the gap to fill the gap in from where the wings are bolted onto the body. On the international cars, we had a very thin piece of piping. It's a lot less weight.
Oh, right, okay.
But the Clubman cars all had this.
So that's one way of telling is that the rubber.
Yeah.
They also had they had a Premier quick release fuel cap
right.
on the
early
original
ones,
cars.
and that's Williams really from the Formula 1
that what it
cars.
was?
They had the aircraft type fillers. We had to put a brass big thing and
like a
turn
dry
it
brake
forward.
type thing,
Yeah,
wasn't
but
it?
quarter turn and turn that on, which made it really annoying because you couldn't go to a garage and just fill it from the pump.
Or someone would be with a screwdriver and fill it
trying
up
to
there.
push it in.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So 6R4s. Are we right to still go? Are you right?
Yeah.
6R4s. We've got to have a look at this while it's here.
Yeah.
So this was after 6R4.
No,
just before. Just before 6R4.
just before 85, 86.
Because there's a famous one of WOE, Woe number plate,
Woe,
where he
Woe.
slides into the tree.
That was in the 85 RAC.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was a big
first
impact,
time.
wasn't it?
It was.
If you see his
Retired
head
from the event.
Yeah.
But this is the most famous of the Rover SD1 Group A cars. This is owned by, like I say, a very good friend of ours, you know, and he's owned this car. He bought it off me because I did own it and ran it for a bit.
Yeah.
And he's totally restored
So this was
it.
your car?
It
once?
was, yeah. It was Tony's car. Tony drove it, British, and Mike Stewart did. I think the last event it done was Mike Stewart on the RAC 86.
Yeah.
I think, so that's why it's in this livery at the moment.
Yeah.
But look, you know, it's Group A, built by TWR.
Yeah. Tom Walkinshaw Racing.
Yeah, racing. So it's chassis number 3. It was a race car converted to a rally car. So it's full Group A.
So it started life as a race car?
Yeah.
With a works race car?
A works race car at TWR.
Okay.
Yeah. There were some Group A rally cars built at Cowley, 3 of them.
Yeah.
The Woe cars.
Yeah.
The registration. But then Tom was also building the rally cars and run by Andy Morrison at TWR. And, you know, so
was this mainly, being as it was a race car, was it mainly used on tarmac rallies?
Yeah, and no, it done the British Championship,
Oh, right,
National
okay.
Breakdown, and all the rest of it won.
Yeah.
So you can go and watch the old videos
Yeah.
on YouTube of the car with Pondy driving it, you know. And it's as well as the Manx, spectacular car to drive. And
It's all got period bits in it as well.
yeah, that's it.
This is a very original car. This
It is
isn't it?
very, very much original. You know, the owners restored it fantastically.
Even all the switches.
Yeah, the switches, the cut.
Dybon,
Dymo labels.
Look at that as well. These Halder stuff is
it's
really hard to find.
Yeah, especially with the remote handset, trigger and stuff like that.
And there's a little plaque there, advertising permit.
Yes, that's what we used to have years ago. You had to,
if you had an onboard camera, or
no, if you wanted advertising on the outside sponsors, you had to pay extra and have that little badge on there to say that you've paid your duty to.
Oh, really?
Yes, yeah.
And the little dog bowls for the
For the helmet carriers, a lot better than a hook. Yeah, that's it, on fiberglass and
So what would have slotted some? Were there radios slotted in there?
Yes, the old Dymar sets we used to have them back in the day.
That was to speak to the chase crew, basically. Wasn't it?
Yes, that's it. Yeah, the vans.
And then you'd have had the remote.
The remote.
Clipped into there.
Mic there, clips into there. I think the owners got the original Dymar sets there, but
I love it that these. That's what I love about historic race and rally cars is like the adventures that they've been on. And
this car, we've just got the historic papers sorted on it now.
Yeah.
And that was one.
So will this be out and about, or?
I'd like to think it would be.
Yeah, to a certain
down
extent.
to the owner. Yeah, he'd love to bring it to shows and to show people.
Yeah.
And like I say,
People want to see them. That's the thing.
Yes, that's it.
So if he does watch, then we do want to see it. And we've got to talk. Could you say the elephant in the room?
Yeah, the elephant, literally. Yeah, that's right. It certainly is a big piece.
So this was what you would have driven when
we had the high top ones, but the early ones, Sherpa. This was used for rallying. by
some of them
John
had-
Lloyd rallying.
had like a spoiler on them,
That's,
didn't
that's
they?
right. That's
Yeah.
that's the high tops. That's what we did run. But trying to find one of them in good condition, a genuine V8 one,
Yeah.
is so hard to come by. But this we restored a number of years ago.
So this was found as a project. And
Yes,
you,
it was a rally. John Lloyd in Wales
Yeah.
ran it with his lad supporting the GTI rally program, the
Yeah.
Rover 100 things and stuff. He
is
had
that the
it
Rover
then.
Challenge? Or
Rover Challenge it was.
A lot of people, Pondy did that a couple of
He
rounds,
did,
didn't
yeah,
he?
with the
Tate Lyle, hydroelastic suspension.
yeah, God, yeah.
Not great.
I built all the kits for those cars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I did 20 odd kits for those cars.
There's probably a lot kicking around.
There is now.
Because
You
they
can
were
link them
OE
back.
number plates, the
Some
works
of them
ones, weren't they?
Yeah, the Tate Lyle one. But
I'm a bit of a saddo when it comes to number plates. Yeah.
yeah. So this has been rebuilt, and we've done all the interior, all new in bits, and the spot lamps and other bits, map lights and different bits and pieces. And I'll show you some. But oh, sorry.
Have a look in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at it.
Yeah, new mats and stuff, and then it's full of junk at the moment, just storing stuff. But you know, it's all ready for all your boxes and all the bits inside, and tyres and wheels all in the back, ready to go.
Will you use it, or is it more of just a showpiece?
A conversational piece,
Yeah,
shall we
yeah,
say,
yeah,
and showpiece. You know, it's lovely. The other weekend started up for about 3-4 months, pulled the choke out, and literally first crank of the key she started,
Yeah.
and just tickled away. Lovely V8 Burble,
Yeah.
you know, and everything. And of course, back in the day, you could run, you know, the jerry cans all in the front,
Yeah.
wheels and tyres in racks on the back, you know.
So have you, was that the same type of rack as they'd have had? Or probably
No,
steel, wouldn't it?
It was steel
Yeah.
back in the day. We've done it in aluminium now, just to be a bit lighter and strong. But yeah, you look at the old pictures; they were
Full of bumpers and all sorts
yeah,
of things.
on the high roof ones on the 6R4 program, we had all the bodywork tailgates.
That's
front
it,
point
yeah.
splitter.
I've seen pictures of that.
Yeah,
in
that's
Dolgellau, actually, where I live. In
Monaco Recce, Monte Carlo Recce, I went into a car service station, forgot about how roof it was. I did clip the front.
Really? Yeah.
spoiled
That
it.
could have been expensive, couldn't it?
It was a bit, I think.
Oh, yeah. So this is fully restored, all brand new.
underneath, yeah,
I think
yeah,
it's the only one in the world that is that clean.
Yeah, it is, you know, and people love to see it, and people have said in comments, you know, oh, you're bringing the Sherpa along.
Yeah.
I know when we done Race Retro in 19, and we put it on the stand, people were coming, oh, someone's just told me, you got to go and have a look at the Sherpa on this stand, and people would come up, and it's great, you know.
It's
people,
an advertising tool,
yeah,
isn't it?
You know, people, whether they love them or not, I think, but oh, I used to drive one of these as a work thing, bloody thing or whatever, but they were 2-litre diesel versions. You know,
Yeah.
But this is a jet, and the V8 ones were, you know, police, military, ambulance, fire, and motorsport.
So if you weren't in the van, David, back in the day,
yes,
you'd have been. We've got to show you this. It's a Montego estate. So if you weren't in the van, you'd have been in this.
In this, yeah, I was in this.
Not this particular car,
No.
but in one of these.
Yeah.
And you'd have gone. So you were chase crew.
Chase crew, yeah, man, and we ran Montego Estates.
Yeah.
The iconic thing. John Millington was in one in Corsica with me.
Okay.
And went off the side of the road.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because we had AP 4-pot brakes on the front and drum brakes on the back.
Oh yeah. So what was it?
And
There'd have been brakes from the rally department.
Yes, that's it, on the front of the TR program with drum brakes on the back, and of course we had it weighted up with, like you say, gearboxes, diffs, suspension, wishbone, all wheels in the back. The back seats were removed.
I bet they were on there.
We had Bilstein dampers. But Millie will tell you the story. It's a lovely story. We were coming down the hillside, and of course with all the chase car drivers from the other teams.
Yeah.
It was always a little race to be had, wasn't there, and everything, you know, which is probably incorrect to do, but we did. And come down the bottom. I come down the bottom of the mountain. I said to Millie, I've got no brakes.
Yeah.
I've got no brakes. And it's on video. You can watch it. I think it's on video. Yeah, with the V8 Sherpas pulling us back out onto the road. Thank God we only dropped into a ditch and bent the bonnet a bit and the headlights and that. But yeah, that was a close call actually.
That's the funny thing. Those stories, like because you'd had on an RAC, the rally was so long, you'd have had multiple vans.
Yeah, 5 vans.
Leapfrogging.
And
you'd have had loads of Montego
we had three
chase cars
Montegos
going about the place. So like you said,
and Range Rover with John Davenport and Win Mitchell in the Range Rover.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but we had 3 Montegos.
And you'd have been darting about the place, leapfrogging and running around.
As you know, the RAC, the roads used to get congested. We could never get from service start finish.
The spectators and
so on
the
the service
rally.
schedule would be, you know, you go from stage finish 4 than to stage finish 8. So,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, so we were constantly leapfrogging.
Yeah, and if there was a delay or a problem with the car, you're always rushing, and so
Yeah.
people were running around the place racing. It was a race in itself, wasn't it?
It was, I must admit, yeah. It was probably incorrect to have done, but it was, yeah. But we're young. So I managed to find this Montego, and it is rust-free, and it's still got its original paint, but we're starting to see a few little
I noticed a
blisters
little
coming up now.
little dent there.
Yeah, a little dent there. Yeah,
But it's pretty immaculate. I've not seen a Montego that immaculate for a long time.
You see.
The exhaust looks shiny and new.
Have a look underneath. You see.
Oh yeah, that looks good.
Yeah.
Stainless exhaust as well.
Yeah. So again, you know, we will get round to bringing this out. We are doing race retro.
Yeah.
We're up on there with ITG.
Yeah.
We got 004 on their stand. Then we're going to have the new car on our stand.
Okay,
In Hall
yeah.
3 with the new works
Yeah.
van,
Yeah.
service van. But yeah, we won't have room enough to take them on Montego, with a shame, or the Sherpa. But
No.
maybe.
No, but you might see them out somewhere.
Yeah, that's it. Get out somewhere.
So let's. So under the covers, they're.
They're brand. That's one of the very first TR7s, and that's one of the very last TR7s.
We've got to see what colour. What colour are
That's
they?
yeah. Pull that. That's the tighty blue.
Because there's some good TRs had good colours, didn't they? 'Cause
They
they're
did actually.
70s
yeah,
colours.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
So this is one of the first.
Yes, was one of the first. So that's on P-Reg,
Yeah.
and then if you go down to that one down there,
And then this one is one of
one
the
of
last.
and that is from Wales, over at Carmarthen Way,
Okay.
and that is the classic Lady Owner.
Oh, look at that colour.
Yeah. And that's a Y-Reg. Yeah. That's a lovely car, you know. And that's only done 14,000 miles on new.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice to have the first and the last, isn't it?
Well, one of the really ones, yeah, you know, and you see the differences how they change
Yeah.
and bits like that. But,
So
yeah.
another thing I'd like to look at. We're not. We're going to try and.
Well, we go around and finish.
Okay,
TR,
yeah.
And here I'll show you.
I'd like to
gear
look at the
transmission. Yeah.
rally truck.
Yeah,
But
the new one. But this is
the thing is, we could be here all day walking around.
Yeah.
it's like a transmission we do in house here and the
Okay,
gearbox.
yeah.
This is the gearbox from the RAC.
Yeah.
The one gearbox done the whole rally. We did.
So
change
are
it
they? They don't look. They're not dog.
No,
they're
it's not dog.
It's
No,
all helical.
synchro. Yeah, it's all synchro.
So
Gearbox.
I was going to say if I could see what the dogs look like on Mark's gear changes, but
There you are. This is a
yeah.
genuine thing now. You show it wasn't a dog box. Although Pierre Ekman did run a non-synchro gearbox.
okay, just straight cut.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. He didn't like synchros because they were slowy and bulky. You know, and
You
that
get
was
the crunch, don't you? Sometimes if you
It is, yeah. You know,
changing down
that's
too quickly.
That's right. And the bigger and it's quite a slow change in
Yeah,
a way. You
yeah.
know, compared in somebody gives you got 2 synchro hubs. You know, trying to spin them up. So on these, and you know.
So is there anything that you upgrade on a?
Just you've got the correct close ratio gear kit.
So the gears themselves are different ratios.
Yes, different ratios.
But otherwise, that is.
Otherwise the same, and then we just super polish the gears, as you can see.
And maybe some different bearings and things, or.
No, it's just Timken.
Yeah.
The best bearings and stuff like that. And oils have been the biggest improvement, I think. We worked with Castrol, and they worked with us and we sent them samples of what we were finding
Yeah.
and stuff, and they come up with an oil for us, and it does seem to be a game changer. You know, it really is.
Is that a little filter in the box?
Yeah,
Oh.
there's a little filter in the bottom of the gearbox.
And a concentric clutch.
Yeah.
That's a pain, isn't it? Sometimes.
No, there's a fork and arm. Not
Oh, right.
concentric.
Oh, sorry,
there's-
yeah, there's a-
We do strengthen the arm there because that tends to
Yeah.
push through with the pressure, the ball,
Right,
because
yeah.
of the upgraded cover pressure and stuff.
Oh, yeah. So that just goes.
Yeah, and
through
hence
the-
you see on the bulkhead of the car, you know, the pressure is quite high.
Yeah,
pressure
yeah, yeah.
in there and stuff, and a shortened remote. I just starting to corrode a bit here, but yeah, it's aluminium genuine works ones. They ran like an aluminium short remote. That's where
Okay.
the engine was moved back.
Yeah.
Because then instead of the old standard thing, you had to move the gear lever back forward. So
Yeah.
that's off a Jaguar. It was back
All
in
right.
the day. Yeah.
So that would have been an
XJ6.
XJ40 series.
XJ6.
XJ6.
Yeah, which ran the LT77 and gearbox in. And that's it. ERC number. It's a genuine
BL. Yeah.
Yeah, BL part ERC number. So that's it. And that's
I love a
that's
gearbox
the
room. They're
gearbox.
always tidy.
Yeah, that's the gearbox from EPA. Which
Okay,
we ran
yeah.
in EPA, and the spare box is in there now. So that's just come in. We just rebuilt the whole thing. We tend to rebuild the gearboxes after every event.
Every event?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just to make sure, because it is known to be quite an Achilles heel.
As in, you just check the parts.
Check it, and synchros usually change most of the synchros.
Yeah.
Because they do, as we said, take a hard life.
Yeah. The phosphor bronze.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah. You know, I think they're very similar to the MT75 gearbox synchros. I think the boys are running steel ones there, but we're still running the brass ones, as you can see, and the brass forks.
Yeah.
You know, everything like that. And I see.
These,
Yeah, that's the rest of the bits. But that's another spare gearbox ready.
So that'll go in the van.
In the van, in its flight case.
Which we'll
There's
have a
another
look
one
at
in
now.
here that goes all in the flight case.
And these are all spare, ready to build.
Yes,
Yeah.
one's come back, and then
So more engineering.
more engineering. So we do at Aston's, you know, as you know.
So we'll have a quick look around the Astons after, but yeah, that's a big part of your business as well, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Yes, you know, probably 80% of the business is Aston's, and you know, going back from the rally, working with ProDrive and being a part of the team with ProDrive, with the Aston Rally GT project, and then the GT4 cars and that, we've become a very much the largest independent, and you know, I would say probably the best independent in the world of looking after the Astons outside the factory.
So have you got customers from all over the place?
All over the place. James, we send parts all over, again, to New Zealand, America, Europe, and as well as UK. So this has come in, I think it's got a front cover leak, and the boys would do that, and bits and pieces and stuff. That's the engine out of 003 from the RAC with the subframe and everything. So that's how we've lifted it straight out of the car, or dropped it out the bottom of the car.
Okay.
Again, so that would be getting a lot of TLC now and looked at.
Just go through everything. And
The engine won't need anything. I've done a leak down and everything after the event, and
the engine's fine.
235 on the pressure. I think 4 to 6% leak down. And that's after Mark cooked it. If you remember on the first day, we hooked it.
Didn't
the poly V belt
come
jumped,
off?
jumped off. And you know, he ran to the end of the stage and cooked it, and she still then carried on. You know,
that's quite rare to come off on a
It
motor.
is,
It must have been a stone or something, mustn't it?
Well, I don't know whether the violent. It's quite a violent hit. He jumped in, whether the frequency then just flipped it off. Might have been slightly loose.
Yeah, I suppose, because I know these are better, but they can, I suppose, flex.
Yeah, they flex
a slight
as well.
amount.
I think it might have been like you're saying, the impact with the nylon strap, which we use for lots of reasons, may have flexed a bit and allowed the poly V, where we went to the ditch, maybe revved it at the same time, and then it just walked it
Unfortunate,
off.
really.
It was, you know, we lost a minute and a half there, but he got to the end, she was crackling, and he was worried that, and then everybody thought we were out of the event. I said, no, just let me bleed the system through, and we did, and you know, as you know, you saw it. She went on, and she's good to go.
Yeah.
And that's so they do, and then that's the axle out of 003.
Yeah.
Although that only done the last, we did change the axle on going into the last stage, that long one, because Mark did snap a wheel stud. You know, with these guns, they got so much torque. So much torque on them, and you were really swapping tyres on the road sections, and that I think he got maybe a bit overexcited and kept the trigger.
So it was just a precautionary.
It was easier
mainly
to
because
change.
of that.
Yeah, he snapped the stud.
Because the half shafts will come out.
Yeah, they would.
Yeah.
So it was at the service. Do we pull it out and put the shaft in, and then worry about the end float bearing, or is it easier? 15 minutes less than that we had time. Just put
an axle on. Yeah.
You know, we've got all the brakes on QRs and stuff.
Oh, they're all
that.
dry brake. Yeah.
Dry brakes.
Yeah.
So you know.
That's not period, David.
No, it's not. Actually, no, that's needs. That's needs.
That makes sense, though, doesn't it? It's so much quicker.
And like say, 15 minutes or less than that, and you change the whole axle.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. So otherwise, there's nothing wrong probably inside there.
Not in the original one. The original one, they are the 4HA. That's the thing. They're a heavy old unit, but the crown and pinions and everything, and the shafts now. You know, that is one thing of modern materials. Again, now shafts in the day were cast one piece, and that was a thing of TR. If you landed from a jump with the foot on the throttle, you would shear the shaft of the spline going into the LSD. But with the new materials. It's pretty bomb-proof.
A lot of people like you said, they're making shafts now that are pretty strong.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
They'll probably twist before crack.
That's right. You get more malleability, but we haven't seen any wear in any of them.
No.
You know, even the axles. That's done quite a few rallies. We pulled out, and the shafts are good to go.
Yeah.
Really are. We're not seeing any. You know, putting in the crack test, no cracks, no wear, anything. So. We'll see, but this is where I do a lot of all the fabrication work from subframes and bits and pieces. We do it all in house in here. So it's my little den where I spend most of my time.
So this is what you'd probably be in here if we weren't here, would you?
Yeah, well, I would. Yeah, if you want Valentine's Day
well,
today,
yeah,
I'll take the
yeah.
wife out. Yeah, so I got all my bits here, all my machines and all bits and pieces.
It's nice just to come in and just make stuff, isn't it?
It is,
especially when your
definitely.
hobby is something like a rally car. And
and the good thing here, we're all off grid here, very green. We're all solar.
Okay.
Batteries. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've got a 90 kilowatt system in here.
Yeah.
You can hear it running there, and it's all, which is
very
nice for
green
the environment.
Yeah.
And stores. But
so
yeah,
this is has been quite a talking subject
it has,
on rallies lately.
on social media and everything. Yeah, since we done it, and it's a project we've done with Hopkins Motorsport in Bristol.
Okay, yeah, they do the
Phil and Ollie
camper
rallies as well.
Yeah.
You know, and Phil
Yeah.
does, and very competent drivers, the pair of them. But they do some lovely race trucks and bits and pieces. So we bought these Kazoo trucks that had when Kazoo went bust, and they're 7.2 ton. Because always thing on the rallies is getting some of that adheres to the weights.
Yeah.
You know, you can buy a 3.5 ton panel van, put bits in it.
Got
and
different
you-
people
and you're-
driving them, haven't you?
Yeah, and you're overweight.
Yeah.
You know, in safety and of course.
Because you'd be surprised in a normal transit how little you can put in them.
800 kilos, 850 kilos
Yeah.
only, and you put a trolley jack in, it's 50 odd kilos.
Yeah.
You put a wheel and tyre in, it's 22 kilos of wheel and tyre.
Yeah.
So we wanted something, you know, that was going to tick all the boxes without going to a, say, an 18 ton or a 26 ton vehicle.
Yeah.
So these are 7.2 tons.
Yeah.
5.3 ton on the rear axle.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, so, and you've also got, you know, a towing capacity, 3.5 ton towing capacity as well, with it giving you a gross train weight.
So you can
10
have.
and then-
You'll take the car and.
We could do
if you wanted to.
Yeah, we could do. We do take a Defender to tow the car and that, but no. So we had this built, just got it finished before the RAC. Like I say, the boys at Hopkins and us got it finished and done just in time.
Yeah.
Typical sort of motorsport philosophy.
Motorsport is always last minute, isn't it?
and it's worked really well. There is another platform we can have, but we got it with a
I like the
short
balcony in the front.
Yeah, that's it, the balcony.
Quite a nice
yeah, that's
extra,
it.
that,
Yeah,
isn't it?
that's it. And I was worried about that. You know, we're thinking, well, you know, in the UK where it rains a lot, you're going to have the rain driving in and the snow. But it didn't with the roof, you know, thing. It was really, really effective.
Yeah.
You know, and it's great, you know, because the boys, because as you know, you get into a service area, Carl and Mark would jump out and want to get in there and have some soup or some tea and some biscuits and that. So then if you're trying to get in there and get bits out, it's
Yeah.
pushing them out the way and
yeah.
everything. So you don't want, well, the boys now can, with the platform there, look, access major bits and pieces without having to
So
go.
did you have an idea of how you wanted it, and then
and
just
James
work
did,
together?
and, James did that, and with Phil, you know, coming, because we had this opening on the original Kazoo vans. They were being used for delivering cars and stuff like that. So what do we do? Well, let's make this. That was James's idea of doing this balcony type idea in a way. I was a bit against it, worried about weather. You know, in the UK, you know, with driving rain and something like that. But you know, it's worked really well. And then, you know, we come inside. It's totally a home from home for us all. You know, we got again access to all the parts inside.
So is that a double bin?
Yes.
Yeah.
You can put them from either side.
Yeah.
Which is great. You know, if you're inside
Like you were
or
saying,
outside.
yeah.
You get to And then in here's a generator.
Okay,
that all slides out as well. A 10 kVA generator.
Slides out that way.
Yeah, we've got inverter batteries as well.
Yeah.
I think, and then we got all the smaller parts, all in draw units here.
Yeah.
Bigger parts. In here is the boys, you know, their full-size fridge, kettle, microwave, coffee machine, and stuff like that. Then we've built lockers here for all the overalls, wetsuits and overalls. They're in being dried, of course, now, but they're all hung up in there, so it's great, you know, when the lads.
So it's hospitality stroke
serviceability and everything in there, and it's all got compressor, airlines in, and everything else like that.
Spray front bumper for Mark, knocks it off.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, he's only allowed.
He doesn't damage a car very often, though, does he?
Oh, really? I got to give him some stick.
Carl's giving him some stick on the
Yeah,
last
good.
thing.
Yeah.
This airlines ever. As well.
Airlines in there. And
so you can get a diagram.
And the window's nice as well, because you know, a van can be sometimes a bit
quite
dark.
dark.
So that's quite nice. You know, service area, and usually you might put in some blinds in there or something like that.
I think there's
pictures of Mark and Carl on the walls.
With darts on them. Yeah.
There's and then the axles, like we were saying, and the gearboxes are all in there, stored in there in flight cases as well. So you can roll them out and it keeps them all clean and tidy and out the way. And then in the back, wheels and tyres. We can get, I think, 28 forest tyres, nearly 30 forest tyres in, and about 24 tarmac
Oh, really?
rims in.
Yeah.
So, you know, it gives you enough capacity
Yeah.
to go and do an event.
And most of your mechanics that come on, because that's what my background before I had my own business was rally mechanicking all over the place. And do your mechanics, are they in-house, or do you have boys that come on the rallies?
No, usually I do all the TRs, and then on the events it'll be myself, James, son, and then Scott and George and Fred. They come along.
Yeah.
That's
So they're under quite strict orders to be nice and tidy when they.
Of course,
Yeah.
They know my OCD.
They know, yeah.
And James is on it as well. But no, the boys are good. They like the way we do things, the philosophy.
Yeah.
You know, a tidy ship's a neat ship.
Yeah.
And they can find stuff, and everybody knows where everything is.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. Make sure everything goes back to where it belongs.
Yeah.
Because then everybody knows.
It just makes everything a smoother transaction,
It does,
doesn't it? And
yeah,
everything
yeah,
works.
Where's that hammer? Where's that stroke?
Yeah, it's all labelled. Know where it is. Yeah.
We all
Because
know where it is.
in the thick of it, you need to know exactly where it is.
Seconds save time, innit? You know.
I think this is probably a business in itself, building these, isn't it?
It could be. You know, I know
Potentially.
we've been approached by a few people. It's just the cost of them really to do it. You know.
And in rallying, unfortunately, rallying, there doesn't seem to be the racing, which James is involved a lot with, and you have been. But there'd be a lot of call for this in the racing side. But rallying doesn't seem to have that kind of.
No, and Paul maybe and the money. We're always sort of poor relations, aren't we? To the racing fraternity. Yeah, we are. But there's been huge interest in this sort of service truck. You know, and we'd like to build some more, but it's just making it
cost effective as well.
cost effective for us to
but
do.
you could bespoke.
I've got another one outside with only 12,000 miles on, ready to convert. But
if you want one,
if you want one, please contact us. It's just making the figures work for everybody, you know, at the end of the day and stuff.
So just before we go, we'll just brush on. I know this is James' side of the business.
Yeah,
and
maybe so. Yeah, I used to do it, but I'm all right now.
Maybe we'll come down one day with our one and have a word with James one day.
Yeah.
But the Aston Martin side is a very big part of this business.
It is, like I say, probably 80% of the business now. You know, we've got customers come from all over the world, country.
Yeah.
People driving from Europe, and we do a lot of upgrades and different bits and. Most parts, you know, we keep on stock. We've got a huge stores area upstairs.
Okay,
Engines, gearboxes and bits. More than most dealers have.
Really, yeah.
And we've developed our own bits from the twin plate clutches to ASM pipes to different bits and pieces.
So
we've developed
covering
upgrades.
mainly the Vantage?
No, we do the whole range.
Whole range,
It's
okay.
just at the moment, you see we've got 3 Vantages in, 4 Vantages in at the moment. But, you know, DB9s and yesterday, DBXs, different stuff.
Because I'll just touch quickly on the Rally GT project.
Yes.
So, because that rally car, what was the idea of that then?
Well, I think if I were looking at a GT class, you know, and Dave Richards at ProDrive was ahead of the curve like normal, and so, you know, the Vantage was an ideal product for that. So they built the 4.
Because it was the smallest one, really, wasn't it?
And they built 4, 3 left-hand and 1 right-hand drive for a private customer. So there's 4 Rally GTs built originally.
Okay, yeah.
And we ran them. We ran them all. But Alan Thistlewaite was a very successful one. Mark drove it.
Mark drove it a few
times for us, and demos and bits and pieces like that. But I think we were a bit too early in the day, because then the Porsche, you know, GTs come now.
They're still going.
Phenomenal bits of kit. Phenomenal. You know, bits of kit. So yeah, there could have been. Delacour drove the Vantage GT. There's the one done in Finland. Went by I forget the tuning house in Finland.
MAT, wasn't it?
Yes.
Is it Matt?
Yeah, Matt. Yeah, not Matt who does the BMW.
Yeah.
But
It was.
Matt.
It was a white car with Matt.
Yeah, we drove that, and it's very good. Yeah, we've done a dog gearbox for it. I did, and that was good. But.
So it could have been.
It could have been again this typical British product. Could have been, may have been, should have been.
It's like they do. They did, like you said, the typical British thing. They made it a good base, but then didn't bother developing it any further. Just pulled out.
Because the Rally GT regs never get off. Not enough people come into it, and now there probably is a good excuse for the Alpine.
Yeah, it was quite an expensive class, I suppose, wasn't it?
It was. Yeah, the cars weren't cheap. As back in the day, you could virtually have a WRC car or a world car, you know, back in the day to the same cost. But no, that's a very good part of our business, and it's gone very well. As you know, and different bits. But you know, the passion is still on the competition stuff. We have customers come in and that. You know, my museum, because this is what it is. My museum, really.
Yeah. It's a working museum.
It's my working museum. you know, I've retired now, and this is what I do and like playing with.
Yeah.
And stuff.
I think I'd like to be in the same position one day. Just come in and play.
Don't be old.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Age doesn't come along.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sean. No.
But yeah, we'll use that as so a massive thank you.
No, thank you
David.
very much for coming in.
No, it's I would have come here without filming it. We film it just as a bit extra, so I can. It's more indulging me in my passion, and I think you've got a massive passion as well.
I have,
haven't you?
yeah. It's an illness.
Yeah,
I'm going to see the doctor about it.
Well,
Maybe
some people say, I've heard of people going, "Oh, I'm selling the rally car." Oh, you're cured.
Yeah,
like,
that's it,
otherwise,
this is incurable.
It is. It's very incurable.
Disease.
Yeah.
But no, I do enjoy it, and it's good fun. You know, like I say, it's being retired and able to sort of indulge in your passion.
Yeah. There's
and
nothing
still,
better, really.
You know, go out and do the events. You know, with Mark and Carl.
Yeah, because you're active on every event.
Yes, I am. Yeah, very much. You know, I did find the RSC quite hard work.
Yeah, that is hard work for
It was
anyone.
hard work,
That is,
and because even the young lads, you know, with us, they were struggling. So I did feel some sort of.
Every time I do the RAC, I say, why am I here?
Yes.
But then when I'm not there, I'll go, should we go and do the RAC? Yeah, it's weird,
That's
isn't
very
it?
much it is. When you're on it, you say, I want to go home, it's horrible.
But it's nice talking about it after, isn't it?
Yeah, the stories and the other bits we got, like now we were talking about it.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's it, you know, crikey. It'd be boring if we just sat watching TV all day. Like
Yeah.
I'd love to be out here like I am most of the time.
Yeah.
Looking after my... Come along,
So what we'd like to do maybe one day is come along for a test and see what you do.
Well, that's right, yeah, you know, the white car, you know, because actually we're doing the events later in the year with Chassis 4, and there will be quite a bit of testing to do.
Yeah.
You know,
So that'll be good.
Got to take the fight to the foreigners.
Yeah. Well, the historic European historic.
Yes.
Did that 2 years of that working, and that is quite a competitive thing now, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, we went to EPA, like you say, last year with the TR, and it was good. You know, we were competitive. We were there, which is the main thing. Yeah. But we learned from it.
And I bet a lot of people. There's a lot of interest. I bet.
Huge amount of interest. Huge amount of interest. You know, for the history of the TR on that event anyway, would probably as well as going over with
nice.
a new car. Lovely compliments from people coming up, you know, looking at the car and saying, you know, how well they were built and
so that is the first thing you see. Like these cars aren't just thrown together. These are like works of art. It's almost a shame to rally them.
It is, yeah. Well,
I'm not one of those. I would rally it, but there's a lot of people who would see these and go,
well,
"Oh my God!"
Dave Richards at ProDrive used to co-drive for Tony back in the day in the TR. That was his first, I think, experience with him, and David's seen him, and he made the comment, really shouldn't really be rallying these cars.
Really?
Which is lovely.
That's quite nice to hear.
It is, yeah. And I know at his wedding when he got married to Karen, he drove off in a TR.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and there's pictures of it. Yeah, so he has a connection.
Yeah.
We need to get him out and again.
Yeah, he should. Yeah. I bet he would, wouldn't he?
I think he would. Yeah, Mark. You know, put him in the car.
Because we did Land's End Trial a few years ago, and Dave Richards did it in Beach Buggy or something like that. Like, he's
great.
Out and about.
It's great. We've got people like that in our sport.
Yeah.
Fighting our corner, and Malcolm now, who's on the FIA. You know, Malcolm,
yeah, that might be a good thing.
It's a very good thing, I think, because Malcolm, he understands the sport.
He's been in it all his life, isn't he?
Yes, yeah. So that's fantastic.
So yeah,
keep the sport going.
Keep rallying going.
We need the young people coming in.
Yeah, well, that's what we're trying to do. Put it out there.
Yeah, get out there. Come on, young people,
it.
get interested in it. You know, get off those computers.
Yeah, get to the real thing.
Dirty.
Yeah. Even come along and help Dave on a weekend, and you'll see exactly how fun it is. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.